Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Nez Porter back at you with another one. Um, Young lady called me after work and said a hot water heater is not working. At least she said the second floor. So if these in the right order, one should be. Well, I think these. Well, I think one's to the right, two's in the middle. Obviously, it should be threes on the end. Remember, I done a lot of work in her house before. Like for example, somebody had put this hot water heater here in, but well, I can't say they put this one in. There was one here in this place, but instead of taking out the old hot water heater, they had ran some branches across from that hot water heater to another hot water heater that was right here, which was this one. I'm saying it backwards, but so see how you get these? I think these are 40 gallons right here. This is probably a 60-gallon or maybe more. This tank wasn't always here. It was more to the left. One of these tanks was right here. So when this tank got bad, the one that was here that looked like one of these, the smaller ones, they left the tank there, but they put some kind of pipe in. They did shock bites and they did compression fittings because they probably couldn't solder. That's probably what it was. And they branched off this one and had that big tank over here. So that big tank was sitting like right here. And for years it sat that way. Last year or the year before, I forget. Well, that's when she purchased it. That's not when I did the work though. So a couple of years ago, I moved this big tank over to the right spot, and got rid of that. I kind of it's not the professional way of doing it, but I blocked that off so no carbon monoxide would seep back into the house. Wrap that up. I think she wrapped it up more, put more tape on it. So, but nevertheless, it's moved over. So this big tank is here. Yeah, I didn't change nothing with the. Did I move the gas valve? Well, something happened with the gas valve too. The gas valve was teed off, and they ran a branch off of this. So see what this nut is here? They ran a gas valve off of that into the to the other hole. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. They ran a they ran it up. So that's the cap that I put in. There was a pipe in here that ran to the other gas valve that would be over here to the other hot water heater. Just imagine this hot water heater no good, but the smaller one. And instead of just removing the hot water heater and putting a new one in and replacing it, they left that hot water heater here, tied into these ones, put a hot water pipes going in and out over there, and it was just crazy. So nevertheless, the tank's been moved. Now what I'm here tonight is to remove this hot water heater in the middle, which is apartment number 2. She said it leaks at the bottom. I asked her what's the TPV valve, temperature pressure valve. She said no. She's sure it's leaking from the bottom down there. And usually, if it's leaking from the bottom down there, that's the tank. If it was bubbling up here somewhere, maybe it could be a rotted fit in or something you could change out. I had situations where this nipple will be dripping water into there and give you the sense it's dripping at the bottom. All kind of, you got to pay attention to that. I'm not gonna argue with her. She said it's dripping down there somewhere. I'm assuming she's right because this woman is pretty knowledgeable. I know her for years. She she pretty much knows what to look for, and I kind of walked it through and gave her the things to look for, and she said yes, I'm all right. And I don't know what year we put that in, and she got new boilers. Now I didn't put these in. I guess she got an energy rebate from a company and had those installed. Came out pretty good. Um, More energy efficient, I guess. No, I did not install that. So a company did. I probably, I probably know how to install. I stay away from that stuff though because I don't want you to do everything. It's not install a boiler. Yeah, you put one for my friend. Yeah, come on. My kids, yeah, I don't want to do it for everybody. My brother, I done some work on his boiler, but not everybody. So here we are. We have hot water heater. My job is just to disconnect this. First things first, you know, we're assuming that all the water's out of it, but just to make sure on the safe side, let me move this bag off the way. Because this is because we're on a, if it's leaking at the bottom, we assume all the water's out. It's not like it's still got water in there. Yeah, if there's water still in there. I'm just gonna drain that plug at the bottom, see how much water's in there, just to get that out of there. Yeah, right there. Oh, nothing's coming out of there. Interesting. Temperature pressure valve. Nothing. So I hit the TPV valve, nothing comes out of there. So first things first, let's shut that gas off. If it's going hover like with the pipe, that means it's open. Across the pipe means it's closed. So give it a, find out which way it turns. Don't snap it. Just, there you go. Don't want to over snap it, but so once across the pipe like that or perpendicular, it's off. Now separate this union right here. There's water coming out of there too, so it's leaking from somewhere. When I hit the temperature pressure valve, I do got water coming out the bottom, so she's right, it is leaking from the tank. Because you see that water, I don't know if the camera's picking that up. There's pooling. When I introduce air into the system, it started letting more water leak out the bottom. So if I keep the temperature pressure valve open, it'll let the air come out. It'll let the water come out the bottom, basically, because the vacuum's keeping it in there. But once I did that, that's the only place the water's gonna come out of. I seen it leaking. So first things first, I shut the gas line off. I hate the fact that I'm long-winded, but I like to explain things in detail so people understand what I'm doing. Because I can easily show you, but sometimes it's best to show you and tell you at the same time. Now, I have some monkey wrenches in the car, but I do have some wrenches here. But I think you can separate this union with one wrench. We'll try it with one wrench first. And if I can't do it with one wrench, I'll get out my other wrench. So I'm going to get my channel locks. Let me take off my hat because I'm inside the building too. Start to get out of the light. And if this turns I can't really see which way that thing is. Sometimes it's upside down. You gotta go up. You gotta go backwards. I think it's the right way up. Okay. So sometimes people install these upside down, and I think that this is the correct way to do it. The flat part on the bottom and the joining part on top. I'm pretty sure that's the right way to do it. Some people, I see them upside down for some reason. And so if you got it the right way, you can crack that and it comes loose. Keep in mind, if this was the opposite way, I'll be tightening it rather than loosening it. I'm pretty sure. And I think it wouldn't come off this easy. But one wrench usually does it. Now sometimes you're gonna get a tough one, and you gotta get up 2 wrenches. So that's disconnected. Gas is off. That's disconnected. Now the thing is probably separating this to get this out of here. I guess I could do that now since I'm already down here and showing you what I'm looking at. So instead of readjusting the camera, we're going to separate this bad boy. First things first, I'm going to try to turn it and see if it'll spin out. I'm pretty sure this top part is going to hit this. So if that does, I'm taking this apart, okay? So if it turns a little bit and it hits that close, I'm going to stop and I'm going to start disassembling it. So always start with the channel locks only. Now, if you need another piece of pliers, at least you have one, but always work with the least resistance. So we're going to turn this and see what happens. Okay, the thing's going to hit. So I see that's going to hit. It's going to take this and spin it out. Top one only. Right from here. This one here, we're going to turn it out. So I'm going to bring it back just a little bit. And then we're going to turn it out, just like that. Ready? It's pretty hard. Here we go. And when you put this back in, just put a little pipe dope on it. Sometimes it's enough pipe dope to put it back, but it's always good to put your own pipe dope back on there. Make sure the threads are nice and coated. Pipe dope, not Teflon. Don't stop using Teflon on these pipe threads. Do not put... Teflon could go right here at the end. Just like there. Don't put pipe dope in all your fittings because it looks kind of sloppy. Plumber inspectors do not want to see freaking white stuff all around, or blue stuff, or whatever color you have. Some people have purple and yellow and different colorful. He don't want to see all that colorful attachments. It doesn't look appealing. Turn this up, buddy. My daughter said, "Dad, how you learn all this stuff?" I said, "I kept my nose open and my eyes, you know." I thank Mr. Porter Sr., my father, the great man that he is, even though he passed away at the age of 85, but he's a great man. That's blue. I remember doing this years ago. Wow, I'm getting old. There are not too many people she trusts to do work here, and because it's like after hours and I have access to the house. I'm not gonna rob her, not like that. She shut the water off, so I know that. I'm trying to figure, should I cut this in the middle or should I just desolder it? This is probably why I cut it last time I done the coupling. I think I'm gonna desolder it. Assuming there's no water in here, this valve is open, no water's dripping. I should be able to desolder this right here and just separate that out of there. So let's see if that works. Let me get my the camera's not facing at it, but I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. I was talking to myself, but talking to you guys at the same time. So let's go up like this. And years ago, I didn't even have a tripod. I was always trying to do it, holding the books and everything, Philly stuff. But I got the job done. There we go. So what we're looking at here is, we're gonna desolder these two pipes. So let me just put the camera up just a little bit. Hold on, right about there. So now you can kind of see what I'm going to be doing from a distance. I'll probably back this up a little bit too. So I don't want the camera too close. My daughter always said, "Dad, you explain stuff like you're teaching somebody." And I'm saying, well, I want them to learn. I don't want them to, have to struggle the way I had. Or I didn't struggle, but I don't want them to have to start all over from the beginning. At least have some understanding. Even though I'm not 100% right, at least they get the idea, They can always tweak it. Always tweak it to your likeness, So I got my torch. Just gotta assemble it and get my stuff that I need. Just give me a second here, guys. Always keep a torch. Keep a full can. I used to run, years ago, I had about 2 or 3 cans of this, the MAP gas, the yellow stuff. Because there was times where you get calls. I had like 2, maybe 3 thermocouples, a 12-inch and a 36-inch, just because I knew I was going to get heat calls in the middle of the night. And, people, "Oh, I know who to call. Call Nance. He'll come out." And I come out and, do what I had to do. All right. I'm gonna attempt to heat this up right here. That look like the best point that I can do and separate this. And it's got a lot of flexibility in there. I can pull that out. So I'm gonna heat that up hard enough. I got my little, called the UV glove. This UV glove is supposed to be able to take some temperature heat. And I'm a right-handed person. I'm gonna use my left hand. And we're gonna see if we can. We don't need to mess with that no more. But we'll take that off later. I'm gonna desolder this right now, guys. So heat this up. Move the flame. Don't keep it in one spot. Just kind of move it back and forth so it kind of heats the whole thing. There we go. All right, we out of there. That's what we like to see. Nice even pull. You don't bang the pipe and don't bend the pipe. Get that water out of there, drain it. Get a nice heat. Boom. Pop that out. Now, if I clean this real good, and I clean that one real good, I can resolder that right back in there. And I apply the heat properly. So now you got one out, guys. We're almost there. We'll get the other one out over on this side. Same thing. This time I'm gonna swap my glove to the other side because I am right-handed. So now I'm gonna do it the right way with my right hand, put this other glove on my left hand. Same process. Let's see where we're gonna obviously get a vantage point where you're gonna desolder these things at. This is probably where I cut it before. I think I was late. I think this is my doing. I think I cut these two off, and I could have put a union on this too. They got brass unions that you can put on these. Some people shock bites. I don't like shock bites because they're, I just think it's a cheap way of doing it. It doesn't show any skill. And people put shock bites and never put them on the right way. They never cut the pipe square enough. Sometimes they do, but they don't deburr the inside and the outside. And they definitely don't clean it. So shock bites, you're supposed to cut it square, deburr it inside and outside so you don't mess up the washer or the O-ring that goes over it. And you're supposed to, after you deburr it, clean it with some sand cloth and then do all that. So it's the same method of prepping for soldering. So the other thing is, if you don't know how to solder, that's the whole problem. So, and I think that's what I did. I cut this years ago. I wish I could remember like the year I did this. It might be over 6 years. I told look up the model number, probably tell you when she bought this. And maybe I'll ask her when she bought this, because that'll tell me how long ago that I did this, and how long I know that particular individual too. And I remember putting this valve on here too. Wow, look at that! I don't know if you guys can see that. I had to check my video. I think I done a video of that, putting that valve up there. I'm pretty sure I done. Well, maybe I didn't, but I'm gonna have to check anyway. I don't ever put the address of the place. I just say changing out valve. It's a compression valve too. Did I put a compression valve on it? I think I did. The only reason why I think I did this one, if I'm not mistaken, I think the valve didn't shut off completely. And I didn't want to shut down the whole building, so I did it kind of like, not on the fly, shut the water off, but then stuck it on there while the water was still coming out, and then tighten it on, and then shut the water off. So I think that might be the reason why. I'm not sure. I have to find out. I don't remember everything. So back to this. We're going to separate this bad boy. We're going to try to do it right on this union. I think is a good place to separate this. I don't want to be too hot. I could do it here or the union, so I can. I get options. If I do it up here, I don't have to worry about this union separating from either side. So how about doing it up at the top of the 90? How about that, guys? And I'm thinking, I get behind it. I'm thinking if I do it from behind it, I can do it a little bit better too. So I'm gonna do it from behind. I'm gonna separate this bad boy right here. I think we got a height restriction on that bad boy. So I have to do it from the back because I think I can't push it up high enough. So I'll do it from the top. Okay, got it out. So let me explain to you what was going on back there. So as I was heating it up, and I knew the pipe was loose, I couldn't push the pipe up because of the sealing restriction. So I couldn't lift the pipe any higher, so I was fighting against gravity. So the next thing was just sweat out the other end of the elbow and pull it out that way. So that's a good thing it's out. Take off the glove. I don't think I need my torch anymore, so I can put my torch safely back in my bag. And I hate, well, not that I hate, I hate the fact that I gotta explain things, but I like to explain things too. So it's not that I hate it. It's just the fact that I hate to bore some people that already know what they're doing, put it that way. So I got everything disconnected. My next thing, I'm going to try to turn off this one, and I'm going to turn off that one over there. If I could turn those two off in this temperature pressure valve, so you guys don't know what a temperature pressure valve is, this is this TPV valve right here. You got to have those. And they shouldn't be more than like, what, 8 inches off the ground, something like that. I think 6 to 8 inches off the ground, not too high. So I'm going to take this one out first, because this is going to be used again. So this is kind of hard. Ooh. Try it again. There we go. A little motivation. They don't need to be on that tight. This is only an event that the temperature gets too high or the pressure gets like too high. It'll release, so the tank doesn't burst. So this is just to get it's called TP, temperature pressure valve. So temperature pressure, at least that's what I was told. You know, if those guys taught me wrong, then shame on them. That's disconnected. So now next thing is just turn out the top and the bottom. Turn out the, so this is the cold. Cold water always comes in on the right side, depending on how you look at it. If you're facing the boiler, it's on the right hand side. Hot comes out on the left. So cold come in, hot comes out. All the boilers that I've seen, they're all pretty much the same. Will it work the other way? It probably will. But if the manufacturer said put cold on the right and hot come out the left, put it that way. Will it work? I think it will. But keep it simple, guys. Come on. These could be changed out too, by the way. That's what I thought she had a problem. This temperature pressure valve, I thought this was bad. Sometimes I take these and I keep these for, like, I throw them in a freaking box just in case. But because this could be a warranty item, I'm not going to take this off because she said she got to take this back to Home Depot. So I don't want to take off a part that Home Depot is going to be like, where's the valve? Like, what happened? Who took the part off? Or if I take off the gas valve, even though the gas valve is good and I keep it, she might lose her warranty. I changed many gas valves before too. Those of you not sure what the gas valve is, that's the valve at the bottom down there that has that little blue indicator that flashes every like 30 to 40 seconds. That tells you got a thermal pile that's kind of lit up. It's that bad boy right there, that one. I did a video changing one of those out too. I don't prefer to do them, but I did it for my daughter. So I said, you know what? My daughter's my motivation. I think there was a time we moved the tank. Me and my sons, we put the tank in. I installed the entire tank, filled it up and everything. With the lighter, it wouldn't light. That little knob broke off. So instead of sending the whole thing back, Rem is a good company, I'll tell you, by the way. Rem sent her a brand new gas valve, no questions asked. They just said when you bought the tank, she bought it the same day. They said we'll send you a new gas valve. And I think they even reimbursed her for the price to have it installed. I mean, so I don't know, like you call customer service. I never called them, but there's people that tell me a lot of good things about Rem, and I'm not endorsing Rem at all. I don't know who makes this and who's this company, but I think they stand by their product pretty good. Somebody said, Nez, you're gonna get free products from Rem. I said, I don't know about that, but so now we're gonna crack this thing here. I always keep saying this. I always start with my basic channel locks first. If this can't work, then I got to go to the monkey wrench. But don't jump to the monkey wrench if you don't need the monkey wrench, if you know what I mean. If you could do all this with this and don't need the monkey wrench, then look at this. People used to watch this, never knew what I was doing. I have my hand here for leverage, but this, they think I'm just resting my hand on here, but this is actually my pull to push, you know. So, and you're never gonna learn all this tricks to the trade, but I'm holding this Jamaican guy thought, oh, he's just holding the pipe, and he's turning this. He's not putting enough pressure to it, but he don't realize I'm pulling and pushing at the same time. So that'll be the whole thing too. So I'm gonna get the right angle. So I'm gonna go right here, and I'm gonna try to crack this off without using any force. So let's see what happens. And it moved. Wow. So my son will be proud of me. Nez, you still got some upper body strength. Dad, you still got some upper body strength. That's what I'm doing. I put my hand here, and I turn up there. And that's it. And remember, when you put this back on, dry fit everything. Don't stop putting stuff together until you get everything lined up. Try to remember, and sometimes it's good to do videos too, because now you can remember, okay, where the hot water heater was at, which way it was facing. I remember, go back to my video. But me, I could remember it's facing forward, and I gotta remember just the orientation of this pipe, because this pipe didn't move. That pipe didn't move. I just gotta get these lined back up to that same spot, clean them up real good, put them back in, good to go. So just remember key things. You know, just think of it as a puzzle. I mean, there's guys that can do 50-piece puzzles, 100-piece puzzles, 1,000-piece puzzles. That's still kind of hard to turn. Whoa, cutting my fingers doing that. Let's turn this off completely. Get that out of there. And I believe this is like a vacuum. Is that a vacuum breaker? Is that what they call that bad boy right there? Keeps the vacuum from becoming a vacuum. In the city of Boston, they don't make it mandatory to put expansion tanks. And I don't know why you would have to put an expansion tank on a hot water heater. Always make sure that this thing it's not gunked up. Because if it gets gunked up, it's not going to work. And then you find all kind of debris inside there. The city of Boston, as far as I know, they don't make it mandatory to put gas expansion tanks on your hot water side. I think the expansion tank will be on the hot water side. It shouldn't be on the cold because there's no cold expanding. But some states they got to put earthquake straps on. Hey, what's up? What's happening, man? Alright, I'm doing a quick job, so when I finish, I'll be heading that way. Alright, talk to you soon. Alright, love y'all. Bye-bye. That's my oldest son. Takes after Neza Porter. You got to see him I got. So when I leave this, I got to go to my daughter's house, and we're doing some lot of work over there as well, as you guys can see in the videos. Same thing on this side. This is my last thing to disconnect before I do this. And sometimes you can take this off first, too, to give you more space. So, you know what? How about that? How about we check and see if there's any screws up in here. There's no screws. That means that this should just come up a little snap clips. And this should come straight out if there's no screws on this. And there is one screw on this. Is there a spot where there is no screw? No. So, I don't know if it's flathead or Phillip. Let's take a quick peek. That looks like it's a flathead or hex. So, I used to carry, will this tool work on there? Like sometimes it will. Let's see. I might get lucky today. Let's see if Nez Porter gets lucky on this. It's either it does or it doesn't, right? Yes, it is working. won't pull it to the last. Because the reason why I asked, would this work? Well, maybe this is still working. So this, I use this thing so many times. It's kind of rounded on the inside, so it doesn't quite fit on the head. I do have a bit that I can slide in here that's more solid than the shaft itself. I just don't have it with me. I usually keep it at the job. It will take this off a lot quicker. Or you can put it in the screwdriver and zip it off. But so it's off. Nevertheless, it's off. Move that out the way so we got more space. Lift up. Just take that up completely. What the heck? I'll just move it to the left. What the heck? There we go. Move to the left. You can always find that screw hole and put it back. No big deal. I just want to give myself space. I don't want to be fighting with that. Now this is my last disconnect right here. Last disconnect, Mr. Porter. Last disconnect. So let's see if we can do this with the channel lock without having to, Now, remember, that's the secret weapon right there. So you want to position yourself where you can still utilize this. All right? So that's going to give you, trying to turn it with the tank being empty, which is not fully empty, but probably a little bit of water in there. Not a lot. But sometimes I do it when the tank is full, but unfortunately, if the tank is leaking water, I can't do it while it's full because, you see what I'm saying? Tank it's empty. I can't do it when it's full. All right, so my best vantage point for this will be right here. I still can grab this. I still can reach over and I can turn it. The only thing I gotta make sure I don't mess up my knuckles up here. So this, I think that should be high. As long as I get my hand in here, don't cut myself. My daughter doesn't like when one time I had a cut on my hand. She said, "Dad, what happened to you?" I'm like, "I'm okay." She's a paramedic, so she doesn't like seeing people injured. She's the health person in the city. She's the helper. Now, what I'm doing is finding the best location to put this channel lock. Yeah, I'm not doing a whole heck of a lot. Maybe right here is good. Okay, ready? And we're going to try to see what happens. It's moving. So that old man does have some strength in his arms, huh? The old guy is not that old after all. He can still do some of the young stuff. Okay. Take your time. You're not in a rush. My father always says, haste makes waste. If I started rushing, and my father saw me rushing here, like, boy, what are you doing? Go back and do it the right way. And that's what it tells you. Do it the right way. You say, go back, take your time, do it the right way. We're not in a race. And hopefully my kids will take after me and go and pass it, and keep passing it. All right, so this is all. Now, the easiest thing to do with this is always just remember where it came from. When you do this back, make sure that, and I'm pretty sure the joints are soldered. Clean them up real good. Throw some more flux on it. Throw some more solder in there. Clean this one up real good. Ream it out real good. I got that little brush with the bristles on it. Clean it up real good. You clean it on this side here. Most important thing is you want to remember Teflon tape on these. 3 to 4 wraps right up the top right here. Don't worry about down here because the thread's not up at the top. Blue tape. Wrap it the way the threads is going to turn. So wrap it this way, clockwise, around it, because when you thread it, it's going to go the same way, so the threads don't get backed off. And that last one, just push it real tight with your thumbs. Rub it in like that. You'll be surprised how it kind of make it taut, but don't have to be tight. You can make it tight, but don't go crazy with it. So this is disconnected, guys. I'm done with my job. That's what I came here for. Disconnect this bad boy. When she gets the hot water heater back, hopefully tomorrow, I'll come back and reverse the process, get it back up and running. Um, and the only reason why I do these long-winded videos because I like to educate people. Um, I like to go back and look at the videos and see what I learned then and what I learned now. Did I do something wrong? Or sometimes there might be a professional guy who might say, Nez, you could have, I don't know, something. You could have put a union instead of cutting that pipe. You could have put a flex line on it or something. You could have dropped. And a lot of customers don't want to pay for that too, though. So I tell customers, I could put 2 ball valves up here, a little higher up. I could put flex line and run the fittings down here, and a lot of them, oh, I don't want to pay for that. I don't. Do I need that? I'm like, well, you don't need it, but it makes it easy for the next guy. Oh no, don't worry about that. Just leave it the way it is. I'm like, all right, no problem. I say, in case of emergency, you want to be able to shit off both sides because you don't have it back feeded. Oh no, it's been that way for so long. Don't touch it. I'm like, all right. I can't like make them do it. I could just do the best I can do with what I have because a lot of these people, you understand, they live in Roxbury, Dorchester. They're struggling. They don't have that money to, um, or the luxury to, pay for more stuff. Each fitting might cost an extra, $40. So that's $80. The labor that I might put on might be another $100. Something cheap but not too expensive. And if there's 2 ball valves, each ball valve might cost you almost $30, $15 a piece or something. I'm not too sure what the prices are. So these are 1/2 inch. So obviously you rather have 2 ball valves rather than the gate valves because then the gate valves sometimes they fail. You can't tell if they open or close. They don't seat properly. A whole lot of stuff goes on. So when I come back tomorrow, I got blue tape in there. And I have blue tape. I got the pipe dope in there. So the pipe dope's gonna go on these bad boys. It's kind of late. I did disconnect this entire thing. So when she comes in tomorrow or tonight, um, as you can see, I disconnected. And this is also documentation I did the work too. I never thought about that. Where somebody might say, "Well, you never did any work in this apartment." I'll be like, "Look at this! Look at this right here. Isn't this your apartment?" Um, so that's been disconnected. That's off. Um, Guys, and I say this too. If you have a furnace and you have a hot water heater, I got to get on the safety part of this. At least once a year, have a professional company come out and check these pipes. Make sure they're wrapped and there's no carbon monoxide leaking anywhere. I'm talking about there's a lot of stuff that she does have wrapped up nice and tight. By the way, there should be no exposed wire. That should be capped off. Whoever was working up there should close that box back up. But even around your chimney up here, make sure that is sealed. But I say, and a lot of people, and it's unfortunate, I see this all the time, they don't have the money. I tell people, get your furnace service once a year. They don't have the money to do it. And you're saying, well, you have a landlord. And they're making money, but it's like they got to pay the mortgage, they got to pay the water and sewer, because they charge you for the water coming in and the water going out. You got to pay for the electricity. You got to pay for the distribution of electricity. You got to pay for the maintenance of the wires. I mean, then you get the gas. You got to pay for the distribution of the gas, the maintenance of the gas, the meter charge, the deliverance fee. There's all these charges that these companies are giving. And people, you look at these people in Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, they're struggling to pay their rent. And that's the reason why. Because there's some landlords, tenants can't even pay the rent. So that's another situation. So it's a struggle out there, guys. So I was always looking at it from the outside. Oh, you got this big house. You must be making a lot of money. But in reality, they don't. Like, unless their house is paid off, then they're struggling. They are struggling. So I noticed that they're all new meters. So she must have had and I think she said National Grid did this. I heard her say this. I don't listen to everybody what they say, but I think National Grid came out and gave her like all new meters and new what you call it, boilers. This is a boiler, guy. This is not a furnace. This is a boiler. And you know what? That's what that is missing. Somebody took out the safety device. Think Nez wasn't gonna figure that out. That's what's supposed to be there. So whoever installed this took out her safety device. So in the event that these things catch on fire, it kills the power to your boilers. And that's a no-no. You cannot do that. I think that's still code that has to be in line. That's why the wires are out like that. So whoever, I'm gonna let her know, whoever did her work have to put that safety device back. You can't take that out of there and not put that back. And the other thing you should always have is emergency shutdown. So you got one at the boiler. You should have one at the top of the stairs to shut these off in case of emergency. And the other thing that's a must, I always tell people to get one, even though you don't have the money, find the money, a carbon monoxide detector. Well, so she got a wow, I didn't see that. She has a and I don't like these things at all. Let me put the light on it. I hate these things with a passion. Lochinvar is a good name, a good company, but the wall mounts give you so much problem. It's so hard to work on. They look good on the wall. They're supposed to be a space saver. Got the condensation pump and all that good stuff. They did a lot of professional work. It looks pretty well installed. Exhaust, air intake. Everything looks professionally done. But when it comes to get those things serviced, she does have a carbon monoxide detector. That's a must. Sometimes it's a pain in the neck. I don't know. I don't know about Lochinvar, but the other ones that are they sometimes the parts are discontinued. They're hard to find. I have to ask about the Lochinvars. Lochinvar is a good name now. Don't I'm not gonna badmouth those guys. They got hot water storage tanks. They got boilers. They got the industrial boilers. That's a good company. Um, you didn't need that big service coming in though. That's a big look at that big 3/4 inch. That's an inch pipe. No, how big is this thing? It's bigger than 3/4. So that's a big service to go reduce down to that. I mean, you didn't have to do all that. I guess they want to have volume, so they piped it all the way back to the meter too, which you don't have to do that. It's not that much of a run that you have to do that. I guess they want to make sure it's not starving for gas. That's one way to make sure you get the full volume of gas. So I did a lot of. I like the way they did that. Though. Look at that, the blocking they did. That's these guys. They did a good job. All the pro press, nice, nice, neatly done. Looks professional. Very nice. I got it. Whoever did it, they did a very. That's the temperature pressure valve. They brought it down. Yeah. You gotta give credit was due. The wiring looks good too. Bent to 90 in the EMT. Wire ties on it. BX is all in good shape. Good professional job. Pipes look square. They put a board on the back, which is a good thing. So I mean, I guess it's for the money that you're paying. They might as well say do it the right way, then, huh? That looks good. Well, guys, I did 44 minutes of me talking a whole lot of silliness. Um, I'm gonna head up out of here. I do gotta meet my kids and do some work at their house up there. Um, they did a good job. I'm gonna head up out of here. This is disconnected, so that's mainly what I came down there for before I started getting all winded. So I came down to disconnect this one in the middle. And how we know it's the right one? She said the second floor, and that's the only one that was off. It'd be messed up if I disconnected the wrong. Well, Nez can't be that stupid because he would have knew right away once he touched this thing here and felt how hot this is up here. You could feel the heat, and you could pretty much tell which ones. You feel the warm pipe right there. You can feel how warm that is. That you almost burn your hands. So you just got to do some basic observation. I like the way somebody put that on there. They must have seen a hole. Oh, this could be the hole where they test too. They a lot of people want to check the O2 levels coming out of your tanks to see how efficient it is, and they put a hole here to get a test of the updraft. I might not be saying the right name, but it coming out the CO2 levels. So that might be why you see tape on those random spots on these pipes because they might have put a hole and had a test, and they do that for a reason. They want to make sure it's running efficient. Sometimes they put a hole down here too. They might stick it inside this flute, like up here somewhere to get some emission readings. And I don't use those things, so I don't know how to. Not saying I don't know how, but I just don't use them. They use the same. They use what they could use over the flange instead of taking that flange off. They interchange with it. It makes sense though. If these are interchangeable, you don't have to take the whole entire thing off. I mean, you utilize what they had. They put the circulator pump back in line, which is smart. That's what I would do the same thing. All right, guys, I'm gonna head up out of here. This look like the blue Teflon tape they put on there. See, I like to use pipe though. That look like blue Teflon tape. Not saying it's wrong. Don't by no means it's not wrong. It's just some places don't allow you to put Teflon tape. But this one in here has the dope though. See that? You can see the difference. That's definitely the paste up there. Look like tape underneath the paste. That's paste, maybe a little Teflon with the paste. All right, guys, I'm heading up out of here. I think I'm talking you guys to death. I keep saying I'm getting up out of here, and I keep finding more stuff. But I'm gonna head up out of here. My kids are gonna be waiting for me up there. I think today we're doing sheetrock and I'm doing some electrical work. My daughters are doing great with the sheetrock. My son learned how to use the router pretty good. Cutting sheetrock, that's pretty straightforward. They're doing it a different way, and I'm not going to tell them how to do it their way, but she wants to get every square inch of the sheetrock used. So not every square inch, but so set a butt in the joints like they call a butt joint, like over. Well, she kind of is doing a butt joint, but doing it without no stud or something to screw into the middle. So she's kind of like doing a floating butt joint. So it's still gonna come out good once we level off everything and skim it and sand it. It's just done differently. I mean, typically you cut it so it's centered, so each joint lands right on a half a piece of strapping. You could keep continuing that way, but we're doing it a little bit differently. It's gonna be a challenge. I know it could be done. I've seen it done before, so it's not impossible to do. So, guys, that's been on here 47 minutes. Catch you guys in the next one. Be safe.